$120 per race in Season 4.
Oh, I won the race by 56 seconds. If I were to ever return to Roblox racing, I would only do it if I got paid.
As you can see, dakair2 is a gold digger. Anyways, dakair2. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Raw Racing Behind the Scenes. This is the beginning of an awesome podcast series on my channel, and we've got some big names lined up for you throughout its journey. But today, it's a super special episode as it's our very first one, and we've got an equally special guest sitting right here with me, the one and only dakair2. Now, if you don't know dakair2, consider yourself lucky because today we're going to dig deep into his raw racing journey and find out how he managed to become a 4-time world champion in the incredibly competitive ROBLOX Racing League, Ion Racing. The GeForce was also supposed to be here, but he did not wake up, so we are going to have a solo podcast for episode 1. Anyways, without further ado, let's not waste any more time and dive straight into this podcast. dakair2, are you excited to be here?
No. Yes, maybe.
Great. Well, I've got a couple of questions coming up for you. I want you to start by telling us a little bit about your career.
Late 2018, such as November, I started getting interested into motorsport. But the thing is, I had a really bad PC for the time being, so I couldn't do any sim racing at all. And I decided to check on what was going on in Roblox at the time. Turns out there was a league called Porsche Super Cup hosted by Mr. Layar and Alfie. And I checked it out. They had a Discord server. We've had races Saturdays every week. dakair2 was also in it, which you may also know for being in Iron Racing as well, and is also one of my close friends. Yeah, late 2018 was the start pretty much of it, because then I was redirected to one of the most famous games at the time being called FRA.
Yeah, FRA.
And I met a huge, yeah, that was banger. Yeah, it was really fun overall. And then FRA kind of redirected me to a lot of other leagues, such as Iron Racing.
Great. So, okay. Since we're at the beginning, let's go through your league racing career in Ion Racing. Obviously, you had your first race in Season 1 back in 2019, correct?
Yeah, that was it.
And how did that race go?
I won my first race. I won the race by 56 seconds.
And you kept on winning every single race after that, right?
It depends on if I DNF or not. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
I don't DNF, I win.
So you retired from Ion Racing, correct? And Roblox in general, right?
Yeah, since November 2021.
Okay, so looking at your stats, right? You have been a champion in Ion and a ton of other leagues, right? And you were quite competitive in every single league you did. You had in total 134 races out of all leagues. You won 102 of them, which basically means that your race to win ratio was 0.7, which is quite insane to think about. So if you were so good, why did you quit? Why stop if you're so good at something?
One explanation, sim racing.
Oh, so you do sim racing now?
Yeah, Lewis Hamilton got nothing on me with those stats.
So in the Drive to Survive type of series that Ion Formula did, it was revealed that you were getting paid $120 per race in Season 4. I mean, do you get paid that much in sim racing these days?
No, it's really complicated. There's way too much people, way too competitive, and trying to find a spot is really hard. So no, I don't get paid for sim racing, but I get to enjoy what I wanted to do since I got involved in motorsport in general. So that's a plus. If I were to ever return to Roblox racing, I would only do it if I got paid.
So as you can see,
when I mean return to Roblox racing, I mean seriously, in a serious manner, not like just I do a race and I quit.
So guys, as you can see, dakair2 is a gold digger. Anyways, dakair2. So how do we pronounce your name? I mean, it's some people call you Dakar, some people call you Dakair. What's the correct pronunciation of that?
I guess pretty much Dakair. Kind of uncomfortable when people say Dakar. Like, I think of the Cars movie for some reason. Anyway.
Got it. So Dakar. Oh no, wait, Dakar, right?
Oh, you had one job. You had one job.
Sorry. Wait. So Dakar, right?
Yes.
What? Okay.
No,
So,
it's fine.
anyways, Dakar. So the first contract you were offered for season four, it was 60 euros per race, right?
There was a guy named Colt Spark, which was a team owner in GT3. He offered me $40 per race, but then Shea caught the wind of it and offered me 60, which I accepted because F1 is more interesting than GT3. One race after France happened, so I got the $60. Kaikura decided to try to crank it up a notch and try to recruit me. So they had an auctioning battle or something as to who was gonna get me. So the price rose up 80 per race, 90 per race, and the final adjustment 120.
That is insane. And this is Roblox racing. That's something that's unheard of. And still to this day, nobody gets paid that much, even if they get paid, because most of the leagues now they just offer Robux or they just do the racing for fun. Yeah, so how was he able to come up with $120 per race? Did he win anything out of that contract? Did Ion Formula offer anything similar as in prizes as to what he
Oh
gave you?
no, no, not at all. Not at all. There's like no prize pool in iron racing.
So you,
In fact, it's an actual shame. It's the most famous league.
so
People tried hard to win. I exist, and I denied them.
so basically, he operated at a $120 loss per race, and he did not win anything out of
Yeah,
that.
yeah. He didn't win anything besides maybe pride or something. Like yo, I'm winning races and maybe the championship.
I mean,
My
obviously, it sounded really, really cool when he said on the what was the Ion Formula's Drive to Survive name? War on Wheels.
war on wheels.
Yeah, I mean, it sounded really cool when he got to say, "I offered Dakar to $120 per race."
$60 a race became $120 a race, plus driver championship bonus and constructors bonus, 100 each. That's just insane.
I went from crazy to pure insanity.
Like when we were watching it live, I remember back in the day when we were watching the premiere and I heard that. I hadn't heard it before, and I was incredibly, incredibly surprised as to how the economics behind that work. So, thankfully, now we have you in the podcast, and now we know that he operated in a loss to have you, which is quite surprising if you ask me. I personally wouldn't do something like that.
Yeah, me neither.
So season four came with a bit of drama. You still won it, but you were banned for 4 races. Why was that?
Long story short, we are on the 9th of January 2021. Season 3 just ended. So the off-season began after winning the championship a few races prior to the final round. Wanted to still do a few hot laps here and there, like weeks apart. So I did maybe 3 on Greece. But the most shocking part, which was pretty much the reason I was banned for 4 races. During the Japan race, I was pretty dead serious that I could have went on a no stop on the hard, and so I did it. I did a whole race one run, 42 laps or 29 laps, on the hards, and I successfully pulled it off without losing too much time. So my theory confirmed, but I recorded the whole thing and I posted it as unlisted on YouTube, which I don't have anymore because I deleted it. I don't know why. I should have kept it. If I didn't return to iron racing in season 4, I would not have gotten those race bans, obviously, because I wasn't gonna race. But I decided to race because of the prize pool that was given to me.
Yeah, I mean, me
And then,
personally, I would also come back for $120 per race. Jesus,
oh
it's
yeah,
still,
no hesitation.
yeah, it's still like, it still wows me up to this day. Did you want to say something else as well?
Yeah, the 4 race bans were reduced to 3 just before the French Grand Prix. Why? Simply because I didn't cause any issue during the time span of the race bans, and I kept on complaining as to why cannot I move the race button to any other race besides the French Grand Prix? Because I wanted to race there in priority.
Yeah, and as our viewers can hear, your accent is French, so you basically are French, and you wanted to race in your home country, right?
Oh no, I'm actually American. See, I'm so good at English. It's amazing. Holy
You are good at everything
S
you do,
word.
pretty much.
Oh, I jumped.
Oh, wait, sit back down.
I pressed the space bar. What a disaster.
That just ruined the podcast. We have to do it all over again.
Oh no, okay. Question number
I'm
one.
kidding.
Why do you start?
Okay. Did you have any stress going into iron racing races?
Not really. Besides the stress that happens, like, 5 minutes before lights out, you're like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? But then, aside from that, no stress. I'm just going there like tourist mode, just focused when I had something to win.
Yeah, that's classic. Who was your nearest competitor?
Uh, in terms of pure pace, I would say, on some occasions it was Critical Noob. On some occasions it was my friend Kaikira. Sometimes it was Captain Bow, but also a friend of mine. But it turns out he was doing the silly during the races, so he got banned for it. Yeah, cheating if you don't know. Uh, yeah, it's why I didn't win UAE in season 3. I was 20 seconds behind. I kept the gap at least with the trash can of a car I had, which had no straight line speed compared to the Spirit. Anyways, that's not the subject. It's very inconsistent. I would say Critical Noob was my nearest competitor.
You said stuff about the cheating. Did people know that there was an anti-cheat? Did the Ion developers implement that without telling people? How did that go?
No one knew. No one knew after season 2 that some sort of anti-cheat was implemented. But in fact, it wasn't even an anti-cheat. It was just a code that looked up how much gravity you've got in game. And since gravity impacted the level of grip you had, we had speculations. Because you can't just gain pace out of the blue.
Yeah.
And it depends on what you're doing. Yeah, you can't just gain pace and all of a sudden outpace absolutely everyone, even in the race.
Talking about pace and races, which race do you think was your best? Me personally, I think season 4, the last race where you let everybody go and you gave them like a 20-second lead, and then you came and won the race with another 20-second lead. No, what was it? 10-second lead, 15-second lead? I don't remember. But
For 5 seconds.
oh yeah, 5 seconds. But like, how are you so much better than everybody else? They are all using mouse control. Why was never anyone able to beat you back then?
It depends on the consistency you have, setting the same laps every lap. Obviously, keeping almost the same inputs and being consistent with it. The lines you take as well, the strategy, which can give you several seconds on your competitors. The way you manage the race, which mean, oh no, I pushed too much, I have to save now, and then ending up losing seconds over the stint. Yeah, you can also use a cheat called Cheat Engine 5.3, which will be in the description. No, just kidding. It doesn't work anymore since 2013. Anyway.
I also asked what was the best race of your experience, you would say?
I guess I'm pretty sure it's not even in Ion. It was in a league called IRRA. I was 51 seconds down. I had to make that gap up in 19 laps, and I won by 9 seconds. 19 laps to catch up 51 seconds. I was setting fastest laps every lap on the hards. Just fully locked in, fully focused. And even with the 5-second penalty because I didn't have an helmet, I still won the race. So that was the best race ever. Otherwise, and this time around, it was the 4th edition of the Indy 500. And it was very, very tight. I ended up winning it by a margin of 1.5 seconds, if I remember, which is, I consider it one of the best wins I've done in Roblox. Another of those one-off events was the 24 Hours of Le Mans, which was a 2-hour and 24-minute race with Group C cars. I won the race I consider this league very, very competitive. But I won that 2-hour race by 4 minutes and 10 seconds. I lapped the whole grid.
That,
One
ladies
of the
and gentlemen,
one of the best performance ever as well.
that, ladies and
If I had to
gentlemen,
mention another,
is how Dakair does it. Go on, go
yeah,
on.
UAE season 3 and 4 were mostly challenges because Slipstream was powerful as well. So once I got wind to the last car, I would pretty much hang on to the train.
Are you subbed to me? Yes or no?
Good question. Checking. We are checking. Oh, I'm not. What?
You are not subscribed to Arthur. Okay, that's.
Oh, no giveaway for me.
Anyways, I forgive you as long as you're subscribed now. And you guys should also subscribe. I mean, come on, even dakair2, 4-time world champion.
Should you?
Yeah, they should.
I mean, I guess.
So the racing scene has moved on quite a bit. New generation of drivers is basically here. We have Dino, Razor, Outguard, Dom HG, Razor. They're all.
Oh, GeForce.
Did he wake up?
He's here!
GeForce!
Finally! You fucked. Why did you not wake up before?
So, ladies and gentlemen, GeForce now decided to show up. He decided to do us the favor, His Royal Highness. But we're here. Hello, GeForce.
Hi.
How was your sleep? So yeah, I was just telling Dakair about the new generation of drivers like Dino, Outguard, Domji, and guys like that. So my question is, Dakair. Okay, there you go. Have you raced against any one of them? And if you have, how are they compared to a legend, let's say like you?
The closest driver in terms of raw pace, raw race pace, and quali pace would be Dino Monkey 321 out of any of the new generation drivers. He's matching me in quali pace, but I still have that little edge in race pace because of the experience I have in race managing. So I know what to do when I have to save the tires, for instance, when I have to save the fuel, and then push, and then save, and whatever. I've got that experience. I know exactly what to do mid race, managing it to perfection, which he still hasn't really mastered yet. And even on the race pace, the raw race pace, I'm still maybe 2/10 quicker, 1 or 2 tenths quicker per lap. But he's still insanely good, and he's gonna be destroying absolutely everyone and the competition as well. No offense to any other drivers, but that's a fact. That's a fact. He's gonna destroy you guys,
Including you?
including me, maybe in the future.
Okay.
But for now, it's still pretty much equal.
I see, I see. So you're saying Dino is the most underrated currently driver?
Yeah. He's literally number one right now. He's there's no other way to describe it. If I were to name a few drivers currently active drivers, Dino Monkey would be first. Critical Noob would be second.
What about Outguard?
Outguard, he is not quite up there in my opinion. Yeah, I've raced Outguard primarily in IFR. Judging only from IFR, which are pretty much simple cars to drive, he's fast, but he's not fast, as in Dino Monkey fast, or just Critical Noob fast. He's gonna get out, not just out qualified, but outpaced overall. Guys change. The people can change, so he can pick up the skills. I mean, extra skill because he's still very skilled.
Yeah, I mean, he would probably pull a 5-second gap to me in a lap. Anyway,
You suck, skill issue.
I suck, I know it. You guys don't have to remind me every single second.
But we will remind you.
Sure, thank you about that. Let's talk about Ion Apex Racing. Obviously, the newest game, the IFR successor. It has collisions. Do you think that is going to be good for raw racing and league racing? I mean, collisions in ROBLOX. We can't have proper steering wheel support. So mouse control racing, will that be possible in the high leagues?
In ROBLOX overall, that was always been the case. You can race with a wheel. You just need a third-party software, such as X360 CE, for instance. And collisions, that's gonna be experimental because the only type of collision we've seen is collisions such as backstretch battles, for instance, which sacrifices your input lag for being able to have contact with others, which is not ideal for racing because you don't want to have input lag, which is the worst thing possible ever. What the collisions right now in Ion Apex Racing do is they predict the car's position. And so far, it's quite experimental because it's only a demo. I've tested it and it pretty much freaking works. Like, wow, I wouldn't expect such a thing to work. Racing is actually fun now. You have to prepare switchbacks, you have to keep your line during braking, you can move at the last second. And yeah, if you crash into someone, they actually feel it. It's not just like vision lag and stuff.
Do you think leagues are going to use it? Do you think that we're going to have more negatives with collision racing than positives?
We're gonna see if some rednecks are gonna attempt racing with collisions, which I think might be a good idea actually to experiment. You know, it's a new thing, gotta experiment. I'm gonna say it's a positive thing. There's gonna be back markers that are gonna crash into people, but there's gonna be things such as safety cars, I believe, maybe. Anyway, pretty much a
Those
positive thing.
They could always add black flags as well.
Yeah, yeah. Real-time penalties maybe, or just stewarding decisions post race.
What else have we got here? Do you think that Ion Apex Racing will be the top game of Roblox Racing once it's out?
Maybe on the get-go, yes, because people are gonna be like, "Oh my god, I wanna play this game." It depends on how the game turns out. If the race mode is good, if we have all sort of cars, if the leagues are not competitive but crowded, it's gonna be tight between Ion and Project Apex, as per usual. As I was saying, yeah, on the 3rd of September, they implemented an update that literally suppressed the bumps. And the cars feel really, really nice to drive, so I wouldn't be surprised if Project Apex still keeps the lead. Even though Ion's got new technology, collisions and stuff, I still very much believe it's gonna be a tight battle between the two. It's gonna be community driven. And since Project Apex kind of stole some players from IFR after they announced that they were no longer developing IFR, it's gonna be community driven. Unless they hear the news that Ion Apex Racing is coming. So they're gonna come back, test it out, like it or not, stay on Ion, or move back to PA.
That's a good take on it. I do think that Ion Apex Racing could go back to its peak with the update because, as you said, racing is fun. I mean, open lobbies, I have no idea how that's going to go. It's probably going to go pretty badly because people, not people, 90% of Roblox's player base don't even know what racing is. But hopefully the leagues and people who put together races know what they're doing, and we hopefully have some good racing in there.
For me, it's just going to be two different experiences that it has to offer for Roblox. I mean, yes, 90% of Roblox are 13-year-old kids who just want more, like, even younger. And so it's not always going to be the best racing with collision, so that's why maybe some people will move to Project Apex if they can't deal with it. So yeah, it'll be very mixed between the two.
I do think that Ion Apex will go back to its peak if the right measures are taken. People will love league racing because there will be rules that you have to go by.
Yeah, there's gonna be a set number of rules, maybe. Surely, there's gonna be a rule book about it. Like, if you cause a collision, it's this. If you crash into someone on purpose, it's this. Yeah, we can only assume. We can only speculate, assume, predict.
I don't know if you know, but I do have my own league. I haven't started it yet. That's because when I wanted to start it, Ion announced that they are discontinuing IFR. So I thought I should wait because, you know, at the end of the message it said something about appetizers. I really don't remember, but it hinted that there's a new game coming. So I thought I should pause it until the new game comes out. I have thought that we are going to have driver's license penalty points. So, like, if you cause too many stuff, you get race bans, like you did, for example. Yeah, I think strict rules is the only way to go with collisions because people, are gonna take advantage of it. You are incredibly happy with what you achieved in raw racing, right?
Yeah, it was fun. You know what they say, if you have fun doing something, that time is not waste. And I don't consider Roblox racing, I mean the time I've spent in Roblox racing to be a waste. I had fun.
You had
And money.
you had fun and money, which was what I was
So
about
it's a
to say.
success.
Yeah, it was a success.
It's a complete success to my eyes.
How much money in total did you make from Ion and in every other league? Did any other league pay you anything to race in it?
Yeah, sometimes. It was in Roblox though. So yeah, still money. Yeah, Iron Racing is by far the most I've been paid, 720. It was supposed to be more than 1,000, but yeah, $60 only in France. I didn't race in the first three. No drivers championship bonus as well, only the constructors. Weird. This was weird. Anyway, so pretty much maybe 730 overall dollars.
That is not bad at all if you consider it's Roblox, right? Absolutely insane.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. Okay. That about rounds up all the questions I had prepared. If GeForce wants to ask anything else, you're free to.
No, because I am in fear of asking already said questions, and I think I've learned enough from today about the road racing scene.
So that about, I think, rounds up the podcast for today. Thanks to everybody for submitting questions in my Discord server about what to ask Dakair. You guys were really, really helpful. Special thanks to Dakair for doing this podcast with us and waiting for potentially the Royal Highness Mr. GeForce to do us the favor to join the podcast.
You guys started without
No
me.
problem.
Yeah,
I'm
we
very
did,
hungry now.
but
I gotta
Yeah,
go eat.
exactly.
yeah. Hopefully in editing nothing is corrupt. If imagine if the whole thing got corrupt and we had to do it all over again.
It's good for me
Tu-
because at least I don't have to miss.
Le Goofy.
Yeah. But Dakair, any last comments you want to make on anything?
Hey, shoo. Subscribe to me.
And to the GeForce.
And to Arthur as well. Obviously, every single social from Dakair and the Mr. GeForce will be in the description, alongside game links from everything that was mentioned in here. My
Better be.
my Discord server as well as the GeForce's Discord server, and if any of the big names in Raw Racing watched this podcast and they want to be a part of it, do message me on Discord. You guys know where to find me. But until our very, very next podcast, do stay safe and
Bye.
bye.
See you later.
See you later. Exactly, French accent. Bye.
Goodbye.